Here's an interesting data set in StatCrunch. And I might just real quick here go over how is it that we find these data sets in StatCrunch. When we first open StatCrunch, we are at this page here, and if we click Explore and then Data, we're going to find a lot of very interesting data sets that we can use to test all sorts of things or to find measures and practice manipulating data sets and finding measures or conducting tests about parameters for a variable. And this particular data set contains several variables: seating choice, front, middle, or back of the class, GPA, and gender. Now what I'd like to do is look at the distribution of GPA according to gender. So I'm going to click Graph, Stem and Leaf. I think I'm going to use a stem and leaf display to do this. So I'll click GPA. It shows here in this active box. I'm going to group by gender, and I'm going to specify a leaf unit. I'm only going to go to the tenths place. So I'm going to have this GPA rounded to tenths. I'm going to click None for outlier trimming and click Compute. Now here I have a stem and leaf display for females, and if I click this little arrow here, it's going to go to the stem and leaf display for males. Now I can click back and forth and notice some distribution differences here, but what I would really like to do is look at them all at once. And in order to do that, I'm going to construct what's called a back-to-back stem and leaf display. So here's a back-to-back stem and leaf display that I've already constructed for the two data sets. And this can be useful when we want to compare the distributions directly. So let's notice here that the maximum value for females is 4.0, where the maximum value for males is 3.6. The minimum value for females is 2.1, and the minimum value for males is 2.6. So you see the way that the back-to-back stem and leaf display is organized. We have the leaves right in the middle, and then the stems go out in reverse order for the stem and leaf display on the left, and then in order for the stem and leaf display on the right. So a little bit of analysis that we might do here, we might notice that the range for females is 1.9, and the range for males is 1.0. So the females have a wider range, a wider interval for their range. Something else that's interesting here is that the shapes of the distributions are completely backwards. The female modal class is the smallest, and then it descends from there. The modal class for males is the largest, and it ascends from the bottom up. So what we might notice then is that the modal class for females is the 2.0 to 2.9 class. The modal class for males is the 3.0 to 3.9 class.